I would like to address this to the United Nations and all members of the United Nations and all nations who are not members of the United Nations. And I would like to address our very government as well. Nuclear testing is not necessary ever. We know what it does. I do believe that a lot of you are masking your desire to see an explosion. As a child likes to see explosions. Masking it with intellectual facade to justify all that you have done and all that you continue to do to humanity. So that with your intellect, you can document and you can publish your work. I'm not impressed with your intellect. I'm not impressed with your intelligence and your ability to publish something in a medical journal. There's not ever a need or an excuse to do such things, and you know it. This whole thing is about intimidation of one another because you're obviously not men enough to come face to face and talk about what you can do with your people's taxes to give back to your own people in your own nations. That's why we have a chronic poverty. How does that make you richer? It doesn't. It gives you a headache because then you have to figure out where the money's going to come from to feed all these people who are disabled from your radiation or disabled from your neglect and your wars. And then that in itself leads to more corruption because you have to figure out where the money's going to come from, which you don't have. So you borrow from another nation. And that's how you end up owing one another. Why don't you pay back one another with a good favor? When you take your airplanes up, like eagles soaring, you're not supposed to trespass each other's territory. So you see all of that needs to be cleaned and all that needs to be done. And then you call on your brother and you say, hey brother, I'm not going to borrow money from you today, but I want to pay you back and then you can pay me back for that debt and we can pay each other back, or we can pay so-and-so back. We can pay each other back while we owe each other. So that way nobody's in debt. How do you pay each other back? Cleaning up the mess you have made. Because you are like children. You don't spend enough time with your wives. You don't spend enough time with your children. You don't spend enough time enjoying the simple things in life because you think that you're so intelligent that you have to come up with these evil, wicked, destructive plans like nuclear testing. You know how much money is spent on this industry? Your people's money. That is the work of Satan. Of Satan! And I fear no evil. So that's what you can do with your bird's eye view when you go up high. You look at your own, and instead of testing on your own, you have compassion on your own people like God has compassion on you. Question what you're doing. Question your work. Who am I working for? Oh, am I working for this branch of the military service, or am I working for that other branch? Okay, I'm working for this branch. So help me God. Because even the presidents won't agree with one another. One president is kicked out, the other one is put on, the other one's kicked out, the other one's put on. So really your loyalty is to the president, it's true, but your ultimate faith should be in God. Your loyalty should be to God. You say, so help me God, don't you? Who's going to help you do your job well? So it is your job and your duty to report corruption. You can do it anonymously. That does not make you a coward. You can speak truth today. That's what you are called to do. You are serving your nation and the people of that nation. That's why you are serving. So you speak truth. No matter what country you're serving, you have to speak truth because you are serving the people. So your loyalty needs to be to God, and your faith in God, your fear in God, and to know that God is your helper as well. And you're God's helper here on earth. So when you go up in your planes and you see, you call on your brother and say, hey, we've got dirty water over here in India. Can you help me clean it up? Sure. I'll be right there to help you. We've got a lot of troops. Absolutely. That way, I don't owe you anything. It's even Steven. In China, they have all these buildings empty, vacant for years now. And they are falling apart because there's nobody in them, living, breathing in them, circulating everything the way it should. Because circulation is the solution. Circulation of true information, and circulation is what is life. That's why we were lifted up to the heart, to His heart, to the womb of His heart, to receive more for our less. And you know that all cells have something to receive and something to give, something to deliver. That's the nature of things. It's not like we're going to go up, and then come down in these little cells because we're small. Believe me, we are. And like these little cells are going to go, no, I'm not going to give you the oxygen that I'm carrying. It doesn't happen that way, does it? At capillary level. That's the nature of things. You are given something and you have to deliver it because it has been given on you. It is now a load that you have to deliver. So, I don't want any excuse from any of you that you did not receive more for your less. That you did not receive a mercy and forgiveness and love and warmth and light and life. You don't have any excuse to hold on to what you have been forgiven. You have heard and you have understood, and I know you have acknowledged. Because this is what you do. You are the branches. You are members of the United Nations. Nation. Person. People. I'm not afraid to speak about atomic anything. Let us go to that atomic level. Let us. You are willing to test, knowing the side effects and the danger, not only for this generation, for future generations. But it's not you. It's not your children. Right? So you're going to protect your own. Well, God protects His children. And I'm His daughter, and I'm not playing with any of you. You can strip me butt naked, which you have, and I feel no shame. I am female. There's no shame in that. You ask me, what race are you? I am female human. I have no denomination. And you cannot even believe what your parents tell you if they're not godly people. Because you can be raised as a white person when you're not. What is white? What is black? There's all shades of it. But we all came from one root, one truth, one spirit among us and in us. You cannot hold on to what has been given to you so freely. You have been forgiven. So do give what has been given to you. Forgiven. So give. Forgive. All of this nuclear testing needs to come to an end. We need to disarm together. This is something that President Eisenhower warned you back a long time ago when he left office. On the day he left office. He spoke to you. He warned you. He was an army general. He knew the military inside and out, and he was always in charge, and he did a good job. He did it well. And he came to me, and he gave me M&M equals E. M&M equals E. Albert Einstein came to me on Dove Lane and gave me M&M equals E. So we've got 2 become 1. And this is regarding atomic bomb. Military money equals Einstein. Military money equals Eisenhower. 2 become 1. 2 become 1. Simon, Saul, Peter, Paul. SS equals PP. SS equals S. PP equals P. JJ equals J. or Y or I or one truth. The sperm and the egg, two become one. Become two, become four, to become one body. Being delivered. Delivered. You have been forgiven. We were forgiven. We received mercy, warmth, love, mercy, and forgiveness before going in to He and He into us simultaneously. When you come face to face with your brother, there you will see yourself, because you're only half yourself. You're only half yourself. To become whole, because the Spirit is in your midst. God is Spirit. God is above you. He is with you. He is within you as an individual and within us in our communities, in our midst, chest, with new hearts. 2 stone tablets become 1 stone tablet. Tablet, heart, stone. Transformed between the 3 and the 4. Because it's not three-giveness. It is forgiveness. You have to give what you have received. Forgive. You cannot say, I didn't hear it. I didn't understand it. I didn't acknowledge it. Yes, you did. Because you are called to sit on the table of truth and transparency without intimidation, without harassment and bullying or bluffing, with truth, and speak the truth inside of you. Share notes. Do this. Share your notes. Bind your books. Bond together. You will see that you only have a fraction of the whole. And you will benefit when you have a complete message before you and you are one you on the table, tablet, table, face of the diamond. Transparent and clear with facets, face. The sin of Judah has been written with the pen of an iron and with the point of a diamond. Jeremiah 17. Fast forward. Jeremiah 31. I will make a new thing. You are made in the image of God. You and you become one you. You and you are one new you on both sides of the water. So do give what has been given to you so freely. M&M equals E, M&M equals E, two become one, M&M equals E. Maria Montessori came to me. She came to me to my right. And she gave me E equals M&M. Education equals Maria Montessori. M&M equals E, E equals M&M. to become one. Mem. Mem. Water. Mem, the letter mem, letter M, comes before the letter N. Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. The Son of Man has to be lifted up like Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. Joshua, son of Nun. M before N. Moses before Joshua. Joshua was chosen by Moses. Joshua was chosen by Moses. Moses raised, lifted up Joshua. You are being lifted up. It is done. This already happened. We were lifted up, up, up to the right into He and He into us simultaneously. I have been given 5 doves of peace. Me equals we. Because I am, you are, we are. You are the I am, and I am the you are. And we're looking in the mirror. We are children of the light. We have to be who we are, the light. Moses, Joshua is a pattern. Moses raises Joshua. Moses raises Joshua, lifts up the staff, the leader. Staff, snake, Nun. Joshua, son of Nun. Nun also equals fish, or like a little sperm going up, 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 up to meet the egg, to become one. Become 2, become 4, one body, being delivered. We have the intelligence to disarm together. We don't need to do any more testing because you know what it does. It mutates what God has given us. How are you going to benefit from that? I believe that before any of you make decisions for us, the people, that you have a one-on-one with God, whether you call Him Savior, Allah, God, Elohim. Have a one-on-one. Ask God to place His hand in your head and heal it so that you can be sane. Ask God to reach into your heart and heal it. There are times that I'm in pain. My body aches different places at different times. And I lay down and I ask my Papa God, reach in there and heal it. And I envision His fingers going into my brain and healing it. And I envision His fingers going into my kidneys, in my liver, in my bowels, in my backbone, and healing it. Sometimes my breast hurt, and He heals it. We are the healing of one another. This is our calling. We are the branches which hold the leaves for the healing of one another. The healing touch, the human touch, the hug, hugging one another is therapeutic. So go on and give. Pay each other back so that you don't owe anything to one another. Pay each other back with your gifts, with your talents. Oh, you've got dirty water over there? No problem. We've got troops. Come on, everybody. Let's clean this water up. Not just two nations, no, all of you, among you. Hey, brother, we've got some dirty land over here that was, they had some radiation testing a few years ago, and people are still having genetic mutations. Oh, brother, let's go over there and detox the land as best we can. It may not be done overnight because it takes time. Just like when farmers transition from conventional farming to organic, certified organic, before they can have that certification to put on their label for their food, before they can be considered certified, they are in transition. You have to wait 7 years for that land to be growing the vegetables and everything that's being grown in there naturally without the pesticides. 7 years have to go by before they can claim to be certified organic. But the sooner they get started, the sooner they get done. Right? Just like when Alexander was picked up by DHR based on allegations that I was potentially suicidal. And they said, well, you need to go see a psychologist and you need to get a psychological evaluation. And I did it immediately. And then they wanted me to go through this parenting class for 8 weeks. I did it immediately. And they wanted me to do a drug test. And I don't do drugs, and it is obvious. And I did it immediately. But the day that I went to the lab, they said that the orders hadn't been put in yet. So I contacted the caseworker, and she said, well, we're going to do it at a later time at the actual facility. And then when the court-appointed attorney was speaking to me for the first time, he asked me, who's your next of kin? And then he asked me, have you been tested for drugs? And I said yes, and I did it immediately. And he said, well, do you know what the results say? And I said, well, they were negative, of course. And he said, well, do you have the results? And I said, yes. And this is before I found out that the labs, at least 2 labs, were busted here in this very state of Alabama with swapping drug test results so that parents would lose custody of their children so that they could continue to be in custody of the state. That in itself is a communist agenda, to take away kids from parents so that the state can own them. That is the very communist agenda that you blamed Dr. Martin Luther King for. You called him a communist, and you false labeled the man when he was warning you that going to Vietnam was not anti-communism, that it was going to take a lot of human lives and a lot of money, and that we were going to suffer the consequences, and we did. But he spoke. He did his job while he lived physically, and he still lives in the body of Christ. He's not dead. Dr. Martin Luther King will forever live. So, why don't you listen to the man? Listen to his speeches. They're about 45 to 48 minutes long, and I enjoy every second of it. And it's not like I sit there all day to listen to his speeches. No, once enough. But do take notes and understand when people are trying to warn you. Do take notes from President Eisenhower's farewell speech. Do take notes, share them, bind them, and bond on the table of truth and transparency today. Thank you.